You know, we once believed the Earth was flat, and that made sense. If you lived in the 14th century, rode horses, and cured your colds with dragon's blood. But you're living in the 21st century, with satellites, GPS, and images from the International Space Station. Yet, there are still people who believe the Earth is a disk, encased in a glass dome, surrounded by an ice wall. And every piece of evidence you see is CGI from Hollywood? You might think, oh, never mind, they're just a fringe group. But I'm sorry. Flat Earthers have a community of millions of people, global conferences, books, podcasts, and TikTok videos with millions of views. To believe in a flat Earth, you must first reject gravity. The Earth isn't round because someone said so. It's round because gravity, the force of attraction, compels it to be. When an object has enough mass, gravity pulls it into a perfect spherical shape to optimize the compressive forces. That's why planets, moons, and stars are all round. It's not a coincidence, it's a fundamental law of physics. If the Earth were a giant disk, gravity would pull everything towards the center of the disk. Water would pool in the middle, just like when you pour water onto a plate, making vast, evenly distributed oceans impossible. How then could the Pacific or Atlantic Oceans exist as we know them? Terrain would be distorted, and the atmosphere would be unstable. The central gravitational pull would deform mountains and continents, and the atmosphere would be unevenly distributed, leading to extreme pressure differences that would make stable life nearly impossible. All satellites orbiting the Earth would be non-functional. GPS, weather satellites, telecommunications satellites all rely on orbits around a spherical body with a defined center of gravity. If the Earth were a disk, these satellites would fly erratically or fall, causing the entire global information and navigation system to collapse. To believe in a flat Earth, you'd have to deny Newton, Einstein, and 400 years of fundamental physics. But don't worry, they have their own ways of explaining gravity. When there's no gravity, how do flat earthers get creative? The universal acceleration theory. The Earth has no gravity. Instead, it's constantly accelerating upwards at 9.8 meters 2, creating the illusion of gravity. Sounds like you're living in a gigantic, perpetually accelerating cosmic elevator. But if it's accelerating endlessly, why haven't we reached the speed of light? According to physics, no object with mass can reach or exceed the speed of light. If the Earth has been continuously accelerating at 9.8 meters 2 for billions of years, as they claim, it would have far surpassed the speed of light long ago, directly contradicting Einstein's theory of relativity. Who is pushing this disk? What kind of engine? What fuel? This is a basic question the theory fails to answer. For an object as massive as the Earth to continuously accelerate would require an unimaginably immense power source and propulsion mechanism, for which this theory offers no plausible explanation. The density theory. Heavy objects fall because they are denser than their surroundings. But if there's no gravity, what is down? How does something denser know where to go? This theory completely ignores the concept of a fundamental direction that all matter follows. In a space without gravity, everything would float freely. How would a denser object automatically know to fall in a specific direction if there isn't an attractive force guiding it? Flat earthers are like someone breaking their rice cooker because they think fire is fake, then inventing a new cooking method using willpower. They don't prove what's right. They just deny what's wrong in their own minds. The psychology of flat earth believers. It's not that they're unintelligent. In fact, many flat earthers are very smart, with research skills, but they are manipulated by conspiracy thinking and an absolute belief in waking up. This is a phenomenon called the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with limited knowledge mistakenly believe they are superior. They only see a tiny piece of the puzzle, but are confident they've uncovered the truth that the rest of the world is hiding. They disregard thousands of robust scientific proofs to cling to holes or subjective, unfounded explanations. They distrust everything: government, science, media, schools. And the result? They create a worldview where they are the only ones who know the truth, while the other 7 billion people are controlled sheep. This extreme distrust leads them to isolate themselves from mainstream, reliable information sources. They lose the ability to differentiate between verified information and unfounded rumors. This creates a vicious cycle. The more they doubt, the more they seek evidence to support their conspiracy beliefs, and social media algorithms will continue to feed them similar content, pushing them into an information bubble where their beliefs are increasingly reinforced. In an era where everyone has a microphone, the loudest voice is often perceived as the right one, and if you live in a confirmation bias loop, YouTube will show you one flat Earth video, then 10 more, and then you believe it's the truth. Objective evidence dismissed as fake, and the consequences of extreme skepticism. Images of Earth from the ISS? Photoshop. But could Photoshop truly create millions of consistent images and videos from various angles, from different countries over decades? And why has no one ever produced a convincing image of a flat Earth? How does GPS work? A constructed model. So why does GPS work with meter-level accuracy, helping billions of people navigate, orient themselves, and even control autonomous vehicles? If the Earth were flat, GPS would operate on entirely different principles and certainly couldn't provide its current precision. Solar eclipses, red moons, a hoax. But these astronomical phenomena can be predicted down to the second using centuries-old verified astronomical models. If the Earth were flat and celestial objects operated by their mysterious principles, how would they explain the absolute precision of these predictions? Pilots flying around the world, blindfolded. Could there be a conspiracy so vast that all pilots worldwide, from every airline, every nation, are participating in a decades-long charade to pretend to fly around a sphere? This would require an impossible level of coordination and information suppression. If you believe NASA is lying, Google is lying, teachers are lying, books are lying, when will you ever believe anything is true? When you deny the entire foundation of human knowledge, you're not awake, you're adrift from reality. Believing the Earth is flat isn't just wrong. It's the pinnacle of a skeptical society where belief in conspiracy is prioritized over verification. And the greatest tragedy? Not that they believe something false, but that they can't recognize it. If you found this video eye-opening, or at least it made you not want to jump off the edge of the Earth disk, please like the video, subscribe to explore more interesting and not so interesting theories, and share so someone out there doesn't try to find the giant ice wall anymore. Because the Earth isn't flat. Sometimes it's just human thinking that's a bit spread out.